Hey guys, it's my man WBA here. Welcome back to another episode of Can't Stop Progress. This is episode 11 of the series so far. We're here with Progress, chapter 52. From the south of England, I believe we're in a new location for this episode. We have three title matches on this card. We have two number one contenders matches and a load more fun in between. We've got the end of the feud between TK Cooper and Travis Banks and a loser leaves town match. And we also have a exhibition fatal 4-way. Let's get straight into it. We're in front of our biggest ever crowd, I believe. 1,536 people in the O2 Academy in Bournemouth. Jim Smallman opens the show, welcoming the crowd to the show and just hyping the crowd up for what's going to come. A 30E plus to kick us off from Jim, as you would expect from our previous shows. Not really improving Jim, unfortunately. I'm not sure if I would expect him to. I'll take a look at his overness after this, see if his overness is going up from doing these pre-show hype ups, warm ups, whatever you want to call them. But he's been consistent 30 ratings on his angles, so not too much to complain about there, really. As we go straight into our first match, which is the Lose Leaves Town match of TK Cooper versus Travis Banks. We're in a 44D, so a decent match. Travis Banks defeats TK Cooper in 12 minutes and 39 seconds by pinfall with an airplane slam. Dahlia doing some good work at ringside. TK with a 30, Travis Banks with a 49, so nice to see him getting up there with the ratings. No work improvements, unfortunately. And with that, TK Cooper and Dahlia Black are leaving the company, and they will be back in a few months when they get their visa back. Because that's the reason that we're writing them out, is that they have to go back to New Zealand in real life. I've played that into the storyline. They've obviously gone a bit later than they have in real life, because I think they've already gone. So we just worked it into the storyline, and they will be gone for a few months. And then in our next match, the tag team championship match, the leaders of the new school defeat Ringkampf in 16 minutes and 23 when Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Walter by submission with a senior stretch. The leaders of the new school make defense number 2 of their Progress tag team titles, and in terms of ring work, Zack Sabre Jr. was head and shoulders above everyone else, getting himself a phenomenal 74 in-ring performance. Marty Scurll with a 58, Walter with a 42, slightly disappointing but not too bad, and Axel Dieter Jr. with a 51. No work improvements there, but 60C, so a very good match there for the leaders versus Ringkampf. Interesting to see Sabre Jr. getting such a high performance, and Scurll and Dieter up there in the 50s as well. The fact that at the moment Axel Dieter Jr. is being pushed as a main eventer in the company, it's interesting to see him getting 51s and Travis Banks getting 49s, because I believe Travis Banks is only a lower mid-carder, but he is someone that I do want to push. So it's interesting to see these already getting in-ring performances similar to some of the main eventers. But following that match, all four men show their respects for each other, handshakes in the ring. Just a quick segment just to split everything up. As we go into our next match, which was a fatal 4-way, just exhibition match, just to show some people off. Where in a decent match, Leah Rush defeats James Drake, Shane Strickland and William Eva in 10 minutes and 43 when Leah Rush defeated James Drake by pinfall with a Dragon's Call. William Eva, unfortunately the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance due to the fact he was off his game. But James Drake with a 46, Leah Rush with a 48, Shane Strickland with a 45 and William Eva with a 34. Four men really that are kind of Nothing really for them to do. They're in the mid card. I don't really want them to get lost. William Eva's really not done anything of real importance so far. James Drake's done a few bits here and there. Shane Strickland's had 1 or 2 matches. Leah Rush has just been here and there, mostly multi-man tags. He did have, I believe, 1 singles match, which he might have won. No worker improvements, unfortunately. I was hoping there would be one, because 4 very young guys there. But not too bad. A 48D plus is a decent match rating for 4 mid-carders. As we go into our next match, where a Progress Wrestling debut for quite a big name, really, where in a decent match, Laura Di Matteo defeats Gail Kim in 14 minutes and 30 seconds by submission. Laura Di Matteo makes her first defence of the Progress Women's title. Unfortunately, Gail Kim's fan favourite gimmick got a poor, but she got an in-ring performance of a 38. Laura Di Matteo with a 40, so very impressive there. Laura Di Matteo getting a better in-ring performance than a veteran like Gail Kim. Unfortunately, she doesn't get any worker improvements from working with Gail Kim. A 39D minus match for that. As we go into following that, Gail Kim lifts up Laura Di Matteo's arm in victory, just really putting over Laura as our champion. Basically, this match came about. I've just searched the free agents that could work in the British Isles by good in-ring workers. Gail Kim was up there. She'd been released by TNA, and I thought, why not get her in for 1 appearance just to face Laura in our champion, just to really put over the talent that she is. And got a decent match out of that for some women's matches in the UK. 20E minus, not too good, but that's not really too important in the grand stage of the show rating, so it's not too bad. Following that, as we go into the second half of the show, Al Ligero defeats Zach Gibson in 13 minutes and 51 by pinfall with a roll-up. Continuing on the Origin breakup feud, Al Ligero with a 46, Zach Gibson with a 52. 51D plus overall is not too bad. This match basically, the feud, I should say, continuing after Al Ligero was out for a couple of weeks with an injury. We're bringing it back just to sort of finally finish it. It's been going on in progress for so long now. Looking to get that finished by sort of October at the latest, just so we can finally get it over with. Following that, in a decent match, another member of the Origin, Dave Mastiff, loses a number 1 contenders, an Atlas Championship number 1 contenders match to Roy Johnson in 10 minutes and 29 by pinfall the last set. Following a interference from Nathan Cruz, unhappy that Al Ligero beat his friend Zach Gibson, costs Dave Mastiff the match with a distraction. So Roy Johnson, the number 1 contender to the Atlas Championship, will be facing Joe Coffey either at the next show or the show after that. 39D minus, not too bad. Dave Mastiff, I think, an upper mid. Roy Johnson, a lower mid. And with a distraction, dodgy finish, a 39D minus isn't bad. And following that, Nathan Cruz laughs at Mastiff after costing him the match. Just really sort of, just really focusing on the fact that their feud hasn't resolved. It's been on the back burner for a little while, but it's not over, and it's coming back to the forefront. And then, as we move into our semi-main event, the Progress Championship number 1 contenders match. In a decent match, Mark Andrews defeats Mark Haskins, Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher in 40 minutes and 34 seconds, when Mark Andrews defeats Timothy Thatcher by pinfall with a shooting star press. Haskins carried the match in terms of in-ring performance with a 55. Andrews got a 44, Riddle with a 43, and Timothy Thatcher with a 39. Haskins improved his performance skills as well, so that's nice to see. So Haskins missing out on the chance to regain the championship that he never lost. And Mark Andrews gets a second chance at dethroning Pete Dunne for the Progress Championship. And then as we move into the main event, and about that had great heat and good wrestling, Pete Dunne defeated Austin Aries in 60 minutes 23 by pinfall with the bitter end, following interference from Mustache Mountain, or British Strong Style, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. So Pete Dunne makes defence number 8 of his Progress Championship title in a 56C-, so a decent match. Aries with a 60, Pete Dunne with a 55. Two good performances there from those two. No worker improvements, unfortunately. I was hoping Dunne might be able to increase something from the slightly older, more experienced Austin Aries. But as we go into our last segment, where Austin Aries, he manages to he's been attacked, but he chases off Trent Seven and Pete Dunne, locks Tyler Bate in the last chancery, just to really put over how close he was to winning that match. And even though he lost the match, he still ends up on top against British Strong Style, and he is still a top guy in the company. Trent Seven's gimmick's getting a bit stale. That storyline really needs to end at some point as well. I'm not really doing storylines in this save. I was just trying something just to see if having the storyline there, even though storylines in my game settings I have storylines to not matter as much in terms of affecting show ratings and stuff. I was wondering if having a storyline with high heat would affect a match rating. It didn't really seem to do too much. But as we end the show, we get a 54C-, so nothing to complain about there. Increases our popularity all over the place like you would expect. 3 really good matches on this card. We had Leaders versus Ringkampf, Pete Dunne versus Austin Aries, and the Fatal 4-Way. In fact, 4 matches. Alligero versus Zach Gibson was good as well. I kind of feel like 45 to 50 is sort of becoming our average for matches and ratings, so anything within that range I'm happy with. Anything above that is good. It's helping us to get these low 50 ratings, and I'm happy with that. And after this, we're going to talk to Zach Gibson, Zack Sabre Jr. and Austin Aries, compliment them all on a good performance because they were really good. They contributed towards some of the higher ratings. I could have done Mark Haskins because he was the one that carried the Fatal 4-Way, but I gave it to Gibson because he hasn't really had the best going so far in this save. But let's have a look here as we go into our mail. Gail Kim has now left after her one appearance. We got a 1.19 TV rating for Progress. So actually less people watched it online, I believe, than watched it live. I believe that means, the way I've got it set up, because I think I have it so that a 1 is 1,000. If we have not on that one. If we look here, sorry, 10,000. So we had 12,000, just about 12,000 viewers on TV, 1,500 people in the arena. So I think that's our most viewed show so far. I'm happy with that. I'll just have a quick look at our size to see. We are now so close to moving up to regional. We are exactly 29 importance in Southern England, and we just need to get over that to become a regional company, which should give us a lot more options in terms of our broadcasting deals. Because if we have a look now, I don't believe... Oh, we've got Made Television and YouTube. They're the only companies that will negotiate with us now, but hopefully once we reach regional level, a couple more of these companies will become available. Don't really see much. The main problem being that obviously Pivot Share gives us pop everywhere, so I need to decide whether I want to stick with this or move towards focusing on Britain and then maybe having some smaller deals elsewhere. But for the first time really, we've actually had a fair bit of profit come into the company. We were up to 123,000 before that show. We've dropped down a little bit, but we will rise again. But that's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.